What's going on, everybody? How we doing? Welcome back to another episode of Take a Sip. I am inside of my Texas home right now. I'm back in the great state of Texas, away from California. Happy to be away from California right now, to be honest with you. Great to be back in Dallas. The city of champions is what they're saying. That's what they're saying, not me. Apparently, they're saying that this is the city of champions. Kind of went 3-0 at state. A little thing that happened this past weekend. I'm not sure if you guys have heard about it. Just letting you guys know, we're going to be talking a lot about high school athletes, and I saw a lot of guys that are going to be signing with Texas tomorrow do some really good things out there on the field. So, it is what it is. Back here in Dallas, Texas, in D-Town. If you guys see me, come say what's up. It's a good time. I am excited though to talk to you guys today about what's going on for National Signing Day. There is going to be a lot of mayhem going around, like a lot of mayhem going on around the country. I don't think much of it's going to be involving the University of Texas though, if I'm giving my honest prediction, but. Before we get started today, I did want to give a huge shout out to the sponsor of this show, RogueShop.com. It's your Texas home for CBD or for legal CBD and THC and more. Guys, you know the drill. Use my code TakeASip25 for 25% off of your purchases on RogueShop.com. They have THC, CBD, edibles, gummies. They got mushroom spray kits, whatever you need to take the edge off. You know what I mean? To go ahead and relax during this signing day. Really just relax whenever Derek Williams is making his decision, if we're being honest, because I think that's what everybody's sitting here waiting on. It's going to be a fun day today. It's going to be a pretty fun day today. I think it's going to be a fun show tonight, but I think we're looking at a class that's really stayed together for the most part, which is pretty impressive, to be honest with you. How many times have you seen like us going into a signing day and we're like, no, for the most part, we're not really worried about any late flips. We're not worried about decommitments going on and going somewhere else. Nah, it's more just like, okay, we got like one player that we're thinking might be looking somewhere else, but other than that, chilling. CD the future. Thank you very much. Dallas hit the championship trifecta this last weekend. Sock, Duncanville, DeSoto. You know how we do. There wasn't a state championship south of Waco. So all the people that were in here telling me, hey, Houston this, Houston that. You don't know anything, young blood. Come on, brother. I try to tell you, it's the Mecca. Dallas, Texas is the Mecca of high school athletic talent. Number one for high school basketball, number one for high school football. We got 3 state champions within 15 minutes of each other. You know how crazy that is? It's like a 15-minute drive from Duncanville to Sock, 15-minute drive from Duncanville to DeSoto. Like it's a holy triangle that we got built over here. Saw me on TV on the Deville game. Yeah, it was a blast. Thank you to Orangebloods for being able to get me down there. It was an awesome time. Colin Simmons is a stud. Hopefully next signing day, we're talking about him being a Longhorn. I think that would be a dream, an absolute dream. But today we are here to talk about this signing day. I have some questions for you guys that I want you guys to answer in the chat. And I also have some setup things that I wanted to talk about as well. One of those being, I think we have to start off with the headliner of the class, what everybody's really excited about around the country. Arch Manning is going to sign to be a Texas Longhorn tomorrow. And he's likely going to be on campus in about 4 weeks. This has all just become more and more real as we move on, which is crazy to me. It's crazy to me. I think we've all just seen this as oh yeah, we got him Manning. We got him committed. But now it's real. You know what I mean? Like tomorrow he's going to sign with us. In 4 weeks, he's going to be on campus. We're about to have a Manning on the campus on the 40 acres. That's a way bigger deal than I think people are making it out to be. And look, I know people made a huge deal about it, but like now that it's here, I'm really feeling the magnitude of that. I'm so excited to see where the future of this program and this offense in particular goes with a Manning at the helm. Goodness gracious. What a phenomenal headliner to the class. Of course, since the last show, we've had some momentum. We picked up Anthony Hill. Incredible. I mean, like I've spoke ad nauseum about what Anthony Hill means. As a defensive recruit in the state of Texas, you haven't seen any in-state. I mean, like honestly, how many in-state linebackers can you say have been this elite of a rank, like this highly touted as a prospect, as an inside linebacker in the state of Texas? Haven't been there. They're all playing. All the guys that fit the mold are playing quarterback or playing safety and haven't spun down yet. Like a DeMarvion Overshown. We don't really see inside linebackers come up. They're inside linebacker. They're going to play inside linebacker at the next level, and they're the cream of the crop. I am so unbelievably excited to see what that dude does. And honestly, it's looking like he's probably going to end up playing next year. Very excited about the prospect of Ant Hill getting here. Some of the other highly ranked prospects that we have, 2 state champions that ended up winning this past weekend. Malik Muhammad, dude, pick 6 in the state championship game. Ends off his career with back-to-back state championships. What an incredible career. The dude's a damn stud. I'm so excited to see what happens whenever he gets here. I think he's going to push. I think he's really going to push for playing time early, whether it's in the nickel, whether it's outside. I mean, obviously, we're going to have bodies there. We'll talk a little bit about that later. And then also, Jonte Cook winning a state championship. Incredible. Jonte Cook ending his last high school football game with a state championship, had a phenomenal touchdown, had a beautiful catch down the sideline too. He dropped the touchdown. We'll get to talking a little bit about that a little bit later. But I mean, dude, it was incredible. It was incredible. Okay, so we have a crazy comment here though. Hook'em Sark won't make it past next year. You're on crack cocaine. I don't know what we're talking about here. But I did want to ask you guys questions. First, I wanted to give you guys a little dabble of what I'm talking about here. I want to know, what players do you think are instant contributors next season? And I need 3. I need 3 players you think get on the field next year and contribute early. I got a comment here from rogueshot.com. Go on record. Does Manning start next season, or does Ewers step up and hold him off? I don't see Arch Manning playing next year. I'll be honest with you. I don't see him playing at all. Quinn Ewers is going to start next year. If anyone steps on that field after Quinn, it's gonna be Malik Murphy. And from what I'm hearing through these practice reports, through what the players are saying, bruh, Quinn is lighting it up right now. I think we're gonna see a different Quinn Ewers come this bowl game. I wholeheartedly believe that too. I will go on the record right now and say Quinn Ewers is going to have such a good performance next Thursday. Everyone will be taking a sip into next season. We will, I'm sorry. If there's one thing you need to see about this team that's going to make you believe that we're going to be a championship contender in the Big 12 next year, that we're going to be a playoff contender next year, it's going to be Quinn Ewers looking good. And it's going to happen next Thursday. I'm calling it. Let's see. Sadir Mitchell will be starting by OU. Hill, Cook, and Vasic. Hill, Cook, and Williams. I like these answers. Anthony Hill, I think he's already a shoe-in for being an instant contributor. My three, Anthony Hill, Malik Muhammad, and Colton Vasic. I think those 3, all on the defensive side of the ball, I think they're all going to be key contributors. I think Colton Vasic, from a body perspective, him coming in and early enrolling, he's 235, 240 right now, right? Or he's like 230, 235 right now, not 240. I think they're going to get him in the weight room. They're going to bulk him up, get him up to about 245. That dude's already college ready, frame-wise, at that point. I want to see it. I see Hill, Cook, and Baxter. Baxter won't be a ton. That boy will flash. I'll be honest with you. I made a grave mistake. I'm just now realizing this. I made a grave mistake. Cedric Baxter is going to be probably the number 1 freshman contributor on this team outside of Anthony Hill. How did I forget about Cedric? What am I doing? Cedric Baxter might start next season, y'all. I really believe that. And I'm very high on Jonathan Brooks. I am. The only thing that concerns me is Sark doesn't really like a 2 running back type system. He really doesn't. It's like, okay, I want one guy or the other, you know? But I think they can give you that tandem 1-2 punch just like a Roshan Johnson and Bijan Robinson gave you this year. We'll see. Man, that's crazy. I'm slipping, guys. I must be slipping. How did I leave out Cedric Baxter? Man, Cedric Baxter, the number one ranked running back in the country on some sites. I believe he's right there with Ruben Owens. I still, if I'm being honest about my personal assessment, I still think Ruben Owens is the number 1 running back in the country. I'm not gonna be biased. I've been watching the kid. He's incredible. I think he'd be a highly ranked 4-star if he was just a receiver. He's that good. Cedric Baxter is amazing, though. I cannot wait to watch that kid go play for us next year. But yeah, Anthony Hill, instant contributor. I think everybody's shooing him in as a starter. Obviously, we need to have some patience there, but we'll see. Muhammad is going to push the sophomore Terrence Brooks out. Nah, I'm telling you, I think he does. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, we'll see. We will see. I'm not sleeping on Terrence Brooks. I think they're gonna move some things around in that DB room. Because if I had to put a bet on it, what do you think's a more stable 5? Do you think what do you think a more stable cornerback lineup is? If Jahdae Barron comes back next year, moving him to the outside makes a bunch of sense. Watts and Barron on the outside, that's a better tandem, in my opinion, than what you had this year with Watts and Jamison. And then you slide in Jalen Gilbo, who's already getting playing time this past year, in the nickel. That'd be me. That'd be what I do, to be honest with you. I'd bump Jahdae Barron right back out to the outside. He can play there. And he can play there really. I think he's a damn good player out there as well. But we will see. They're going to put Keelan in motion a lot. Keelan is going to blast off next season. I hope so. Man. I mean, is it a surefire thing that Keelan Robinson's coming back? I'm sure he is. But, I mean, we will see. We will see. I think he's not a back that you give the ball to on first and second down, though. You feel me? Or no, I'm sorry, like on like he's not a 3-down back. I'll put it that way. Malik is an aggressive playmaker on the outside, and we need that. That's what I'm saying. To me, that's the difference with Malik Muhammad. Malik Muhammad's gonna make some plays happen, guys. And it might just be because I'm a Dallas guy. I understand T. Brooks is from like the Plano area, I believe too. He's from like Little Elm. But I'll be honest, I think Malik Muhammad's gonna push. I think he's really going to push Terrence Brooks. I think he's got a little bit. To be honest with you, I think long term Terrence Brooks is going to be a safety. I don't know what y'all think. I think Terrence Brooks is phenomenal. I think he's very technical, but I think long term safety is probably the best position for him. But I think a lot of guys in the NFL think that that's where Ryan Watts is going to be either, and I could just be dead wrong, and you could have two guys that play at the Ryan Watts level that he played this past season on the outside, which would be incredible. Will Ford go pro? All right, this is something we really got to talk about. So here's my philosophy on juniors going pro. If you have a day 2 grade or better, you go. In my opinion, you go. But to me, it's like, am I guaranteed to go in the top 3 rounds of this draft? If I am, I'm going. If I'm not, I'm staying. If it's not a surefire thing, I'll stay. I'll stay another year, especially now with NIL. Before I'd go. Now with NIL, no, I'm staying. I'm going to make a bag here. And I can also leverage that to make myself a little bit bigger of a bag. I'm all for the players getting the bag, so use that to leverage. And honestly, with Jaylan Ford, we need him next year. What does our linebacker room look like next year if Jaylan Ford isn't here? We're going to have to attack the portal hard. Because, I mean, are we at a place where we think David Bend is going to be able to step in and just, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't know if we're there yet. I think if I have a day 2 grade, I'm gone. If you're telling me I can go in the 2nd or 3rd round, I'm leaving. There's nothing that's going to keep me in college. But that's what it is. 6'7", 240 pounds Spencer Shannon will at least will at minimum get a lot of special teams plays. Yes, I think Spencer Shannon's going to give you the blocking ability that you haven't really had out of that tight end position. Not saying that Jatavian Sanders wasn't a phenomenal blocker this year. I think he was. But I think you're going to have that guy, kind of like at Alabama. Who was the kid? Was it Miller Forrestall that they would have in there on sets with Latu or Jaleel Billingsley, where he was capable of pushing some guys out of the way. Also, just to touch on it really quickly, Jaleel Billingsley, Ajay Hall, God, man, that blows. I'm not gonna lie to you. You got nothing. We got nothing out of them. Out of both of them, you got absolutely nothing. That sucks. That really, really, really sucks, to be honest with you. That shit, that blows. I'm sorry, that blows. And I think moving forward with situations like that, I think you're going to have to take a deeper look if you're Sark. Obviously, they're talented players, but if there are overlying issues, I'm not taking a risk on it, especially when they're leaving a program like Alabama. If Nick Saban's saying, I don't want to try this anymore with you, that's a pretty telling sign. Yeah, this isn't going to work. So best of luck to both of them. I hope they end up figuring it out because they're both incredibly talented players. But man, yeah, that's it's pretty tough. Yeah, no, Ajay's apparently no longer with the team. Intends on hitting the transfer portal. But yeah, it sucks. But also, I think that's why, if I'm being honest with you guys, I think that's why you stay away from a guy like Denver Harris. I think that's why you stay away from these guys that come from other schools and have issues. Not that I don't think they're talented players or can contribute. I mean, who's sitting here thinking that Ajay Hall couldn't be a hell of a player for us? No, no one. But I don't know. It's hard to sit on that. Also with Ajay Hall, bro, he's got to sit next year unless he goes JUCO. So, I mean, he could go to Colorado. He's gonna sit. He's gonna have to sit. This is his second time transferring. I think Ajay Hall's going JUCO, guys. I really do. I think you might see him at Blinn Junior College or someplace in Kansas or freaking Mississippi something. I don't know. It's a lot. Oh my goodness. Jeff Traylor's fussing on Twitter. I have not seen anything about Jeff Traylor fussing on Twitter. That's beyond me. I don't know. I love me some Jeff Traylor though. Jeff Traylor's an awesome coach. But now moving forward though, I think not that I want to sit there and be like, oh, this guy has a character issue or these guys have character issues. Nah. It's more, can I trust you to be a contributor on the football team where I value my scholarships? I value these positions. Because at the end of the day, there's other transfers that we didn't take. There's other wide receivers that we did. Brother, we took Ajay Hall, but we didn't take Jacob Cowing, who went to Arizona and had a 1,000-yard receiving season this year. And I was extremely high on Jacob Cowing. I would have rather had Jacob Cowing here this past year. He would have been a serious contributor. He's a damn good football player. And I understand he was going back to Arizona where he was, but like if you had an opportunity to give him the chance to play big-time football at Texas, I think he would take that. It sucks. Looking forward to see Darian Gillette play. Shout out to Darian Gillette. I think he's getting cleared for practice and stuff. I think he should be good to go pretty soon. I don't want to divulge too much information, but yeah, like I think he's finally getting back healthy, and I'm excited about it. JW Crunch, are we talking about Duncanville yet? We started off the show talking about Duncanville. I could sit here for 3 hours and talk about Duncanville. I'm just saying. Hey, we can really go in on Duncanville. What's up, David Williams? You judge players and people in general based off of the pattern of behavior. Unfortunately, the writing was on the wall for Ajay Hall. It was. And, I mean, Alabama fans try to tell us, it wasn't a good situation. And it didn't work out. At the end of the day, you move on. You try to find some more talented wide receivers. Go get some guys that are proven contributors at other programs if you have to from the transfer portal. But I think what this really shows you is that wide receiver is a position of need. It's a priority position in the transfer portal for Texas this offseason. And I want to see what happens. Will we flip DeAndre Moore Jr.? I don't know. We'll have to see. We will have to see. I'm pretty confident. I don't know. I think DeAndre Moore and Reuben Owens were never going to go to Louisville in the first place. We will see what happens. But if I had to make a bet, I'd say Texas is in a pretty good spot. I'd say they're in a pretty good spot. I'll just say that much. Where is Billingsley going? I have no clue. No clue. Man, I'll be honest with y'all. Niblett and Moore will get some chances soon. Or Niblett and Moore will also get some chances this season. I think Jonte Cook's definitely going to get some chances. Ryan Niblett, I think he's going to get an opportunity to touch the ball at some capacity, maybe in like a reserve role or possibly on special teams. Same with I think Brendan Thompson's going to contribute a little bit more this season as well. He's running track this spring though too, so interested to see how that affects him long term. But we'll see. We will see. I think if I'm looking at wide receiver contributing, I think I bet that you get Jordan Whittington back, and then I bet you take 2 transfers. You take 2 transfers of the wide receiver position. Everybody loves Evan Stewart, man. Everybody loves Evan Stewart. I saw RogueShop.com drop a comment here saying asking about 2 gems in this class. Man, there's so many really talented guys. I mean, Sadir Mitchell was the gem of all gems, but he ended up skyrocketing after he got that commitment from us. Also, he had like a Georgia offer. I feel like he's a stud. He's going to contribute. Man, gems. If I'm looking at like the lower ranked guys in the class that I think are going to be really, really, really good, I'm trying to think. Guys don't really come to the top of my head. I think this is a very top heavy class. You have a lot of top 100 players, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Man, not off the top of my head. I can't think of one right now. I would honestly say Sadir Mitchell is going to be the guy that comes in. I think he contributes pretty early, but gems, man. You got cream of the crop guys coming in. You got a Derek Williams. You got Malik Muhammad. You got top. Those are two top 50 DBs that you got right there. You got Jonte, top 50 player. Cedric Baxter, top 50 player. Arch Manning, the number one ranked player in the class, is committing to us. I keep forgetting about that. Arch Manning is the number one ranked player in the entire class, and he's committed to the Texas Longhorns. I love this. I love the situation that we're in. Anyway, Brennan Thompson, Savion Red need a lot of reps. They look like they're going to have a bright future. I'm all for it. The point about Coach Sarkisian using minimal players is an issue with me. With the creation of the transfer portal, it's more important than ever. Okay. This is my thing about him using minimal players. I am okay with creating continuity with the players that you have on offense. Now, do I want my running back getting 25 carries a game when I have other talented running backs? Probably not. But if that running back's a first-round pick like a Najee Harris or a Bijan Robinson, yes. I want my best player touching the ball right there. I do. I want my best player touching the ball. So if that's the case, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. I think he does use rotations. Sort of well. A wide receiver, we were rotating a little bit later on in the year, but also I think that was just out of necessity. We didn't really have the bodies. But at the wide receiver position next year, if you have three guys that are just consistently balling out, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. In my opinion, I'm not questioning Sark on getting the right guys on the field. This dude managed a wide receiver room with 4 first rounders in it, and they all ate. Every single one of them ate. So, not worried about it. Brennan Thompson and Savion Red need a lot of. Oh, I read that one a little bit earlier. Jay Witt comes back. Is that what you said? I think it's a possibility. Good chance of getting Akana tomorrow. Massive get if we get him. Shout out to his sister. Also, shout out to the volleyball team winning the national championship. That's amazing. Number one athletic program in the country. If I had to bet on it, I wouldn't say that we get Akana, but that one seems like it's been OU the entire time. That would be the surprise of signing day, though. That would be major. I'm not gonna lie to you. 3 guys filling the top spot at their position in the nation. Yeah. It would be great if UT had as many 5 stars as they have 3 stars, but the 3-star recruits that UT have in the class are all potential difference makers. 6 out of the 8 could easily be 4 stars. I'm trying to think. You've got some guys that I think are I mean, it's all about development at the end of the day. I'll put it that way. It's all about development. This is a solid edge class that you have bringing in, especially if they're all capable of maximizing their potential. I don't know if we have too many surefire come in, contribute right away, and be a dog type guys outside of those. Man, how do I say the right thing here? Offensive line, I think you have a bunch of guys that are going to end up being dogs, right? But at certain positions like edge, I think it's still going to be a big question at edge for us next year. I am. I'm really concerned about what we have at edge. We don't really have too many guys, even on the roster right now, that are capable of winning against their man with speed moves. And we can stop the run. We're strong as hell. You got Baron Sorrell out there. He can set the edge. But how many guys do you have getting consistent pressure? Consistently. Like that. That's my concern. You started getting those sacks later on in the season, and I love that. But we got some questions there still. We're going to have some development. I need to see a lot more of the guys that I'm excited about, Jere Bledsoe, Ethan Burke, and Jamon Tapp next season. I want to see that. Akana chooses Texas or Utah. 0U is out. If OU is really out for Akana, I think we're in a phenomenal spot for him. I'll be honest. We'll see. Okay, actually, I'll take this back. The area where we have the most gems is 100% the offensive line. You have so much to work with there. If you get Trevor Goosby's body right, I think he's a Terrence Steele type guy. He's long as hell. He's athletic. You get him built into that frame, a problem. Peyton Kirkland, I think, is a problem. Jaden Chapman, I think, is the best lineman in the class. In our class, not in the entire class. I think Caden Proctor is by far the best, but I think he's the best lineman we have coming into this class. We have some guys on that offensive line. Kyle Flood is I trust him so much in terms of the future of this offensive line. His evaluations have been incredible. I have a feeling you're going to see a top 20 defense in the nation next year. Oof. Okay. This is where I don't take a sip. This is where I kind of peel back. We're going to be young at some positions, guys. We're going to be young. We're losing some leadership here. Now, on the other hand, we have some guys that are getting older that are going to be leaders. Jaron Thompson, Ryan Watts. If you get Jalen Ford back, I think, yes, a top 20 defense is possible. But you're going to have Anthony Hill playing at a very high level next year. You're going to have to find a replacement for Keandre Coburn in the defensive interior. Yes, Tavondre Sweat coming back makes all the difference in the world. But are you going to be able to get consistent pressure from the edge? I do think you're going to upgrade from Ovi. Just being honest, I think you are. We'll see. We will see. We're young. We're young, though. It's all about development, though. Physical development is critical with the defensive ends, edge defenders. Jamon Tapp, Ethan Burke should have spent the entire 2020 football. That's the Can we pin that comment real quick? What David just said is exactly how I feel. Physical development is the most critical thing in that position room, period. Where you get Colton Vasek's body this spring determines whether or not he's a serious contributor this fall. What you do with Ethan Burke's body this spring and this summer determines whether he's a serious contributor this fall. Same with Jamon Tapp. If they get right, I made jokes all over the place. Get us on that Bama 2014 HGH if we have to. I'm trying to see these boys bodied up. I'm trying to see them putting an arm into a tackle's chest and throwing them out of the way so they can go sack the quarterback. I'm sorry. Get them on the juice. This is the most important thing in that room, period. And that to me is where my concern with that position group is. I think you have frames. I don't know if you have bodies yet. You know what I mean? You have frames. You have Ethan Burke's 6'6" frame. You got Colton Vasek 6'6" frame. You have frames. You have Jamon Tapp, even though he's not the tallest, he's very explosive. He has long arms. He's going to be able to and he probably has the best move set of anyone in that room. Can you get his body to a point where you can trust him against the run? Because when I think about things like this, when I think about players that have that potential, right? I think about guys like Prince Dorba, who just committed to Arizona State. Came in 6'4", like 208, 210 or whatever. You got his body weight up, but over a very long period of time, and you didn't get to see it. He was a liability against the run. Whereas you have other guys, and I understand it works both ways. You have other guys. Joseph Osai came in at 220, but you put on 30 pounds of muscle on him, and now he's in the NFL getting sacks. Same with Charles Omenihu. Charles Omenihu came in, I think he was like 230, 240, something like that. You ended up putting a lot of weight on him, but you get what I'm saying? Like, you need to get these guys' bodies right. And that's the most important thing, especially at edge. I saw Vasek get whooped at the state championship game. I don't know if he was getting whooped. I think North Shore came with a really good plan against him in the semifinal. I think Colin Simmons is the best player in the state, though, I'll be honest. You should see DK Metcalf's physical development from his senior year to college freshman. That's the juice we need. Hey, if that's what you got to do to get him ready, that's what you got to do. I want to see Ant Hill cut up. What do they say? Cut up from the butt up. I need to see him shredded, bro. I think that's the main thing is just like, especially going to the SEC guys, like, that's what they all look like. That's what they all look like. Go back and watch the film. Like, I'm telling you, just being there and watching us play Alabama, the frames that, and I understand these are two top 5, top 10 picks, Dallas Turner and Will Anderson, right? But the frames that these guys have, and they're all built right into it. I'm just saying. I think you need those edges to come in and play extremely well. Players like Tapp and Burke, along with Justice Finkley, Colton Vasek, and hopefully Tassili Akana, have the ability to rotate on and off the field and be dominant defenders on the edge of the defense. I think you have a lot of guys that give you different things. And to me, my thing is which one of those guys is going to turn into I can put you on the field every down and trust you. And I feel like the guy with the most potential to do that is Colton Vasek. I really do. I think Tap is your best. Yeah, I think he's your best pass rusher. Right? I think Justice Finkley is probably your best against the run. But also, I don't know if he's going to be able to get there as a pass rusher. Colton Vasek has a frame. He's solid against the run. He's very technically sound. He has a great first step. And also, he's strong. Get him up to 245, I'm telling you. I'm loving it. I'm loving it. Nick Harbor is the best defensive end recruit, in my opinion. He's 6'4" and runs a 10.4. Yo, he's 6'5", almost 6'6", 235 pounds, and he runs a 10.2. Yeah, no, Nick Harbor is a freak. He's an absolute freak. I think he's probably going to play tight end at the next level. You can't waste. Not saying that's a waste of speed. Like, of course, he can go play edge, but I think he's probably going to play tight end. Deuce Robinson waiting on MLB draft. May not play college football if that goes well for him. Who knows? He's got a frame, bro. He's a hell of a baseball recruit. I think we have a lot to sell him as a baseball program as well. But we'll see, because Pierce got rid of the entire staff this past season. It seems like. I don't know. I think edge is my position of concern. So like not to dwindle. I mean, not to dwell on this. Dwindle. Goodness gracious. Not to dwell on this, but like if I did have a concern for any position room, it'd be the edges. Moving forward too, like I think you need to start landing those elite guys. I think you having a guy like Colin Simmons in state next cycle, you got to do your best to get him. And I do think, I'll be honest with you, I do think he's gonna. I think you have a good chance of getting him the more he wins state championships and puts up 6 sacks in those games, because I think there's nothing that Texas boosters and the people that have their hands on NIL deals love more than a Texas high school state champion, bro. That does it for him. You know what I mean? But you got to be able to land those guys. You do. And that to me is where I feel like Texas has kind of been slacking the past couple of recruiting cycles. I don't think we've got an edge with that high of upside. Obviously, we're still waiting to see what we get from Tap, waiting to see what we get from Burke, from Vasek, right? But you haven't gotten those guys that is just like, oh, okay, I know you're going to be something, right? I want those types of guys. Like, Colin Simmons is going to go to the next level and be a terror for quarterbacks. Damon Wilson is going to go to the next level and be a terror for quarterbacks. It's the same thing when Chase Young came out. You knew it. When the Bosa brothers came out, you knew it. And look, I understand that's asking for a lot. You're asking for top 15 players in the country. But when you're trying to compete for national championships long term, when you're trying to beat teams like Florida and Georgia and Alabama and LSU and A&M and all of these teams consistently, you have to do that. You have to do that. So we'll see. But where I do trust this coaching staff is development. We're going to go out there and we're going to try our best to develop these guys that have the frame, that have the upside. And that's where I think this coaching staff is going to excel. Can you get those guys to play at an elite level on the edge? Because if you can, woo! Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's going to be amazing. All right. We need to get an edge in the portal. Got to be at least one trying to get that NIL. I think, okay, so look, I'll put it this way. We were all saying last offseason you probably had to get an offensive lineman in the portal. The coaching staff now, to me, has earned my trust in that regard. Because they didn't go get one, they're like, no, we're going to ride with these freshmen. We believe in them that much. If they don't go get an edge in the portal, that's telling me, okay, no, we believe in these edges. We think we're going to get something out of them this season. Like these young guys that we brought in, we're going to get something from them. So if that ends up happening, we'll see. We will see. I'm all for it. I had some questions here. Who are your starters on the offensive line for next season? Cam, Kelvin, DJ, Cole, Jake Majors, probably. Or Hudson. Or not Hudson. What's his name? Goodness gracious. I already said Cole Hudson. Oh my gosh. The Neanderthal. What's his name? Hayden Connor. Goodness gracious. Bots, man. Oh my goodness. Shout out to Blake for working overtime for us. What does Quinn need to do to get better this next season? Is there a lack of effort on his part, or is it just the freshman learning curve? I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt. I think it's the freshman learning curve. I really do. I think you're going to see a better Quinn Ewers in this bowl game. And if you don't, then I start asking questions, because he's got 15 practices to improve on what he's been missing. And from what I hear, he's performing well. So I need that Kool-Aid to sip in the offseason. If Quinn goes out there, y'all all know this good and damn well. If Quinn goes out there and he is lighting Washington up, everyone is right back on it. Y'all know it for sure. Everyone is right back on the bandwagon. Everyone's going to be like, oh, okay, Quinn will be all right, which is going to be hilarious. I'm all for using UTEP, UTSA, Rice, SMU, and other Texas schools as farm systems. Just got to be at least one decent edge at these broke schools. The only problem is their edges are players that left us. Like, you got David Abiara at SMU. I think UT needs to have a strength and conditioning program that places even more emphasis on muscle and strength, power improvement from offensive and defensive line specifically. Look, I think that's what Tory Beckton did this last offseason, and it worked out well. I don't have a problem with our strength and conditioning program right now. I think they did a damn good job getting the players to where they needed to be. I think it's more just recruiting. Can you get these guys' bodies to a different level? And to me, that's what it is. Like, the guys' bodies that really need to change, I need to see them adding the things that they need to add. Is the best portal window post bowl season? I believe so. I think that's when guys are like, okay, cool. I can get these extra practices, and now I'm good to go. Is Junior coming back or she's gone? Junior Ungalaw's in the portal already, bro. Let me see. Let me catch up on these comments there. Is there any larger body that can play center? Hayden Connor. Not Hayden Connor, Cole Hudson. I wouldn't hate that lineup either. Cole Hudson, DJ Campbell, Hayden Connor, and then you have Cam and DJ, or Cam and Kelvin on the outside. That's a solid lineup. I think that's probably your highest upside lineup right there. For the freshman from last year, and then you get Hayden Connor. And if maybe Neto ends up figuring it out, I think, not figuring it out. I think he's right there as your backup tackle. You're going to have depth next season, guys. You're going to have, I think, no matter what happens this season, you're going to have a solid 5. I really think that. Why you got to do Connor like that? I can't understand it. I'm sorry. He needs to get his feet better. Quinn's feet were bad. They were. He ended up working on it. His feet looked a whole lot better against Kansas and then against Baylor to close out the season. He needs to not get scared of being hit. I think he just rushes, guys. I really think that's the thing. I think that's where his feet get sloppy. I think he just rushes. Connor Robertson, center. I don't think Connor Robertson's body is where – I mean, you're asking for like a bigger body. Jake Majors is bigger than Connor Robertson right now. Quinn needs to get in the weight room. He does. I agree. Like I'm not saying Quinn is like weak built or frail or anything like that, but I think like look at the way even those pocket passers are built. Like you're gonna have to add on a little bit of some, just some more armor for him. You know, I think he's like 205 right now. Let's get him up to 215. Get him up to 215, 220. You're a pocket passer anyway. Let's put some muscle on you. Let's get you a little more stout. Finkley played a lot this season. How much does he improve next year? Okay. I saw some comments about Justice Finkley. My thing is on Justice Finkley, this is just my opinion. I feel like Justice Finkley is what he is right now. And I think he's going to be a damn good player and a contributor doing what it is that he does. I don't think he's ever going to be a guy that's an elite pass rusher. I think he's going to be a very solid player against the run. And in goal line type situations, I think he's going to be a problem because his leverage is going to be able to be a low man. Like it's going to give you a lot of advantages in certain areas, especially on running downs. Like I want him on the field. But as a pass rusher, I'm not sure I see it, guys. I'll be honest. I think you have other guys like Jamon Tapp, like Colton Vasek, like Ethan Burke, who have higher upside as a pass rusher. But I think what Justice Finkley does, there's very much a need for, and I think he's going to fit and contribute at a very high level. Yeah, no question Quinn can use another offseason. Yes, well, let him go through a second install. This is his first install as a college football player. Because that's the thing that people forget. I brought this up numerous times. People forget he was only at Ohio State for 2 weeks before the season started. He did not get it's not like he had a whole year like he did this year, where he went through spring and went through install, went through fall camp, went through that install. Like, no. He joined he was learning the playbook while there. Like, he was essentially what Baker Mayfield is right now for the for the Rams is essentially what Quinn Ewers was trying to do at Ohio State by being there 2 weeks before. Since that hit versus Alabama, he's been scared to take a hit. Put him through some running back drills. That's I don't think you got to put him through running back drills. I just think you got to get him to stop rushing. Yeah. Quinn needs that Space Jam Gatorade. I'm so excited to watch Quinn play again. I'll be honest with y'all. I really am. I think he's going to turn things around. I like Neto, and I hope that he plays left guard and Hayden Conner moves to right tackle. Even more, I hope Devon Campbell I don't know what that word is. I guess like surpasses Cole Hudson at right guard. Campbell will ultimately be the best offensive lineman at UT. I think it's going to be hard to unseat Kelvin as the best offensive lineman right now, but also I think Cam Williams is probably going to be your right tackle, guys. I see Hayden Conner playing inside. I think Hayden Conner could play right tackle for you. You have a lot to work with there, especially if those two guys end up SERPs. There we go. Especially if those two guys, I'm not sure if I'm even saying that word right. That is not in my vernacular. I don't know, but I think those two guys that you have on the outside, you're going to have good replacements for both of them. To be honest with you, I think next year, even if you have to have Neto and Hayden Conner fill in for Cam and Kelvin, I think that's a better tackle tandem than you had in 2020. like for real. Or in 2021, rather, when you had Christian Jones on the left side and you had, what's his name on the right side? Derek Kerstetter on the right side. Be honest. I think it's a better tandem than that. So I think Cam Williams is going to be a dog, though. Cam Williams, in my opinion, bro, this is the thing. If Cam Williams gets down to about 345 pounds, 340, 330 maybe, I think you're looking at a future first-round pick. He's athletically talented as hell. He's long. He's 6'7". He's every bit of 6'7". The dude is going to be a problem to get around. I like Cam Williams a lot on that right side. And you couple him up with DJ Campbell, you're going to be running like crazy behind that right side. Down to 345 is a crazy sentence. It is. You get him down to that weight, watch. Just watch. Oh my gosh, just watch. Talking about a dude that was pushing 400 dunking a basketball. Crazy. Pray we get Evan Stewart Northy right out the jam. Oh my God. The Evan Stewart's been mentioned like more. Dude's not even in the portal, man. This is crazy. I think Torrey's doing a great job getting these dudes shredded. Quinn will be fine. He was a young freshman, period. Thank you. I think this is what a first-year quarterback looks like whenever he's handed the keys and told that he needs to be elite for us to I mean, he didn't have to be elite, but he gets handed the keys to a car that he's not ready to drive. Imagine this spring is going to be fun. This spring is going to be fun. Could Malik get the nod at QB1? If Malik Murphy goes out there and just lights up the spring, then sure. But I mean, like, I don't know. I think people are ready to like write off Quinn or asking questions about Arch or asking questions about Malik already. And it's like, dude, give Quinn some time. Hey, Quinn looked just as bad this season as Sam Ehlinger looked in his freshman season. As a matter of fact, I think at times Sam Ehlinger looked worse than Quinn has looked this year. Yes, I understand. Like, against Oklahoma State, it's one of the worst quarterback performance I've ever seen. But also, what are we talking about? The dude threw very bad, untimely interceptions. Sam was probably responsible for 4 losses himself in his freshman season. And what did he do? The next year, he came back, struggled in that first game against Maryland, but lit it up the rest of the year. It's one of the best seasons we've had from a Texas quarterback the best season that we've had from a Texas quarterback since Colt McCoy left. I'm telling you. Quinn has a better Quinn's upside is light years above what Sam Ehlinger's upside is. Light years. I love Malik Murphy, but who do y'all think he is, Vince Young? I love Malik Murphy. I think Malik Murphy has hella crazy upside too, but we'll see. I'm not ready to write off Malik. Malik could go out there and light it up. I'm not going to write him off. I'm not going to say that he couldn't. Finkley and Alfred Collins are having the same problem. They had to learn the playbook and stop losing containment on the edges. Both showed flashes this year. They'll get better. With Alfred, it's year 4, though. To me, come on. I want to see Alfred go out there and eat next season. I think he should have done that this year. And the times that you did see him, he looked amazing. But with Alfred, it's like, dude, if you're going to come back this year, be a pro. Be a pro every day at practice. Be a pro every time. There's no reason on this planet, and I'll be honest with y'all, I love Byron Murphy. There's no reason on this planet Byron Murphy should be getting more reps than you when you have every physical advantage in the world. Byron Murphy just works harder. He works harder. In my honest opinion, that's just what I think. I think like, Alfred Collins is going to be as good as Alfred Collins can be, as Alfred Collins wants to be. I think he has so much talent and potential. I just want to see it. I just want to see it. I mean, we've seen it. You see flashes of it when he just pushes someone into the backfield and then grabs a running back with one arm and throws him down. No one else on the team can do that. No one. Not Sweat, not Collins, not Sweat, not Coburn, not Murphy, not anyone. He's the most naturally talented guy that we have on the defensive line. If he comes back next year, I want to see elite play. There's no reason that dude should be an All-American. I just want to see it. But yeah. I'm just happy we finally have some stability with the DC. Dudes are finally getting developed, and we aren't firing dudes every 2 years. That's the thing. Honestly, we should have known that the curse was broken whenever PK had a terrible year one. That's what good coaches do. You know what I mean? Todd Orlando came in, had an amazing year one. Chris Ash had a pretty solid year one. Who was it? Manny Diaz had a great year one, and then year two they fell off. I think it's the inverse. We finally broke that, in my opinion. And also, guys, I hope we give PK more gas this offseason because everyone was ready to fire him after a tiny bit of a bad performance. Goodness gracious. That was, oh my God. You go out there, you hold Bama to 20, and it's all Gary Patterson. But now, like, I don't know. I've gone on a tangent about this already, but we will see. PK is the best defensive coordinator that we've had since Wilmot's champion, and I wholeheartedly believe that. And I'm excited to see it continue. Also, PK has a crazier, like he has one of the best resumes for a defensive play caller out there, and we got him. You know, it wasn't PK beat for real. See, this is the thing. Like oh my God. All right, we're gonna squash this once and for all. Yes, Gary helped 100%. Where was the weak part of our defense? Because I just love going back to this. This is the easiest way to just denounce this. The weak part of our defense this year, our great defense, was the secondary. What is Gary Patterson's specialty? The secondary. What is PK's specialty? Front seven. PK's front seven was the best in the conference this year. Stop it, man. Stop. The dude's a damn good coach. The best position coach that we have right now was his guy. It's the only guy that he hired. He brought in Jeff Choate. And look at what Jeff Choate has done. Look at what he did. He put Jalen Ford. DeMarvion Overshown looks light years better than he did last season. Jalen Ford was the best player defensively in the entire conference. That was PK's guy. You got more pressures than any other team in the country. Come on, dog. Come on. I'm sorry. Come on, man. Come on. What are we talking about? And, oh, yeah, also, shout out to Jeff Choate, too. Getting Anthony Hill, getting Samaje, getting Darian Gillette. I love it. Thank you. Nash is in here spitting. Right now. Texas limited explosive plays, which is all that PK wanted to do. Before PK came in here, weren't we giving up bomb after bomb after bomb? Wasn't West Virginia walking into Austin with JT Daniels, or not JT Daniels, what's his name? Will Greer lighting our ass up? Come on, man. What are we talking about? PK has been a great coach everywhere he's gone. Everywhere he has gone. As a matter of fact, PK has a greater defensive resume as a play caller than Gary Patterson did. I love the fact that we have both of them. That's amazing. But goodness gracious. Anyone with a QB lit us up. Before, yes. The best quarterback that we faced this year, we shut his ass down. He had his worst game, or one of his worst games. Just saying, the dude that was in New York for the Heisman Trophy ceremony got abused against us. Do we know if Patterson's leaving or sticking around? I'd assume he's sticking around. He would have probably been hired by now. Bo Davis is why the front line was playing like that. You act like we were running all type of misdirection, pass rushing. Nah, our front seven was just bullying and using techniques taught by Bo. Bo Davis is an amazing coach as well. But let's not act like PK wasn't in charge of calling the plays defensively for us. Calling pressures that were getting us sacks. Using Ryan Watts brilliantly off the edge, calling corner blitzes. especially to the boundary side. Yes, PK did do great things. PK is the one that came in with the field boundary scheme that put Ryan Watts on the boundary side and Deshaun Jameson on the field side. I love the fact that we play like that. Come on now, though. Come on. Do we think PK is a bad coach? I don't get it. I don't get it. The dude had one bad season, and it's like, look at his first season at Oregon, or not at Oregon, at Washington. They got lit up. Marcus Mariota and them at Oregon lit them up. His defense wasn't that good. 2 years later, they were the best defense in the country and went to the playoff. It takes time. Look at how many dudes the guy's put in the league. Guys that he coached. DeMarcus Lawrence, tank for the Cowboys. That's PK's guy. At Boise State, he turned him into that. What are we talking about? Shaq Thompson. Who else, man? Oh my gosh. Numerous players that he developed and put out there. Coach PK is a problem. And you can hear it in the players too. Even Keandre Coburn, when he came in last year, was saying, no, PK is different. Like, this is completely different. Took him a year to learn it, but hey, Keandre Coburn's a dog now. And look, yes, Bo Davis is doing the damn thing. You don't think he is a great coach? I don't know how you think that. I don't know how you don't think he's a great coach. Because he had a bad year one with 2 former walk-ons starting for him. Because he didn't have a chance to get in his guys, and he had to teach his hard-to-understand system to all of these first-year players who weren't as talented as the guys that he wants running the system in general. Kevin King, Budda Baker, all sorts of guys, bro. Vita Vea, Danny Shelton. Like, we could keep going. There's guys that he coached at Boise State that were dogs too. PK has been a damn good coach everywhere he's gone. I don't get it. And also, my thing is, who are we giving all the credit to? To a guy that wasn't calling the plays? He's in charge of calling the plays. Come on, man. What are we talking about? I can't do this with you guys. I can't. It's killing me, man. It's killing me. Look at how much better all of the guys that were here last year got coming back this season. There wasn't a single one that regressed. Not a single one of that defense that regressed. Who regressed? Not a single one. PK is a damn good coach, dude. And I cannot wait to watch these recruits that he got. You say, okay, I think PK was good, but I do think you're overreacting to our defense. We suck against the pass. You're going to have to take that L when Washington passes all over us. Washington, I do believe, is going to pass all over us because they have one of the best quarterbacks in the league, or in the conference. And also, they have probably the best passing. They have one of the best offenses in the country. But what happens when they don't? We're capable of getting pressure. Also, we're acting like we're not going to be missing our captain of the defense. DeMarvion Overshown's not going to be playing in this game. We're giving all the credit to a dude that was fired from his last gig. Who was fired? Who said PK was fired? Or no, we're talking about Gary Patterson. Goodness gracious. I'm sorry, Nate. No. Yes, our second, but also my thing is too, if we're giving all the credit to Gary Patterson, but we're saying that we suck against the pass, whose area of expertise was that? But we're talking about Gary Patterson. What? Yeah, it's just year ones are tough, yo. Year ones are tough. If we win, this is my thing too. If we had if we had a great year last year, nobody would be saying this, and I get it. But also, people just choose to ignore the last decade of defenses that this man has fielded. Come on now. Come on now. Is this the best secondary that he's going to have? Come on now. Are these his guys? No. Ryan Watts is the only guy that he went out and got in this defense. Like, what are we talking about? If we don't win the conference next year, we're in trouble. I completely agree. Was Gary Patterson the mole that gave our offensive plays to TCU? Hey, that's not a bad take. No, I get it. I mean, there's obviously problems though. Yes, like playing off in coverage, Annoying. That was very annoying. But also, overall, you did what you were supposed to do. You held Big 12 teams to 20 points a game. You didn't give up explosive plays. You didn't let them beat you with easy stuff. Also, the best thing about this defense, and I keep saying this, in every game we played this year, the defense gave the offense an opportunity to blow the other team out, and the offense didn't capitalize on it. But if you really go back and look at it, in every single one of these games, the defense gave the offense a chance to win the game by double digits or more. In every game, even against Alabama, against Tech, even in our 4 losses, against Alabama, against Tech, against TCU, against Oklahoma State, the defense did their job. They gave you an opportunity to blow out every single one of those teams. Goodness gracious. But it is 9. Where I'm going to get out of here pretty soon. Do want to answer some last couple of questions. Malik Muhammad is a pure field corner. I can't wait to watch this kid play, bro. Like he's so damn good. He's going to be a field corner. I mean, you can blind him up at the boundary though too. He's long. So it was all PK. You think? I think it's a better scheme. I think it's better coaching. I think it's development over a year. I think you hired a good staff, especially in the front 7, to develop the guys. But also, you saw Baron Sorrell get better. You saw even Ovia Gofu. Yes, you saw him get better. I wonder who will be that third breakout receiver next year. I think getting Nayer back, and then I think hopefully getting some transfers is the thing. You getting recruits on as guests? I don't know. Possibly. Brennan is fast. Love Brennan. I think Malik Muhammad is a field corner. That's where Terrence Brooks is playing right now because Ryan Watts is a pure boundary corner. Yes. Yeah. I mean, who knows? They might mess with some stuff. You might even move Ryan Watts back to safety. But I think what Ryan Watts showed you last year is that the dude can play corner at a high level. So we'll see. Bo Davis, but agree to disagree, bro. So you think Bo Davis, who coaches the interior defensive line, made all of the difference in the world? I mean, you're entitled to that opinion, but the linebackers, the blitz, the pressure packages that we diagnosed or that we dialed up, like, I don't know how you ignore those. I don't know how you ignore causing more commotion than any other team in the country, especially on the front 7 when you couldn't even get pressure last year. And it's not like you had a crazy influx of more talent in those positions. We don't have an edge that's a good pass rusher right now. Like last season, we did not have an edge that is capable of getting the quarterback with consistency, yet you still led the country in pressures. That comes with good coaching. Yeah. Let's see. Derek Williams and Blackwell in the secondary. I think Blackwell is going to end up being like a big nickel type guy. And I want to see PK use some variety back there. Mix up the Orlando and Chris Ash type like ideal on the nickel position. Chris Ash wanted a big nickel, which is why Chris Adamoro was 215 pounds and he ended up having a week. And then what's his name? Todd Orlando like the smaller nickel, like PJ Locke, right? I think PK's like the more smaller nickel, like a Jade Barron. But I want to see what we look like whenever we can do both. Rotate Jalen Gilbo and not Derek Williams, or I mean maybe Derek Williams. Rotate Jalen Gilbo and goodness gracious, and oh my goodness, Maurice Blackwell if you can. Every sack we got this year was a coverage sack. Yes, it was usually the interior defensive line finishing the plays off, but PK got guys in position to lock up plays. First and foremost came every time. That's what I'm saying. If you guys if teams try to dial up deep passing shots, like they weren't there for them. We had a couple of busts later on in the year, but man, like, come on. The teams that tore us up through the air were the random teams, though, too. Like, freaking, wasn't it Hunter Deckers from freaking Iowa State lit us up. PK does deserve some respect. Man, you're really trying to die on the hill. Everyone wanted him fired. Y'all wanted one of the best defensive coordinators in the country fired. I'm sorry. Yes, I'm going to die on that hill. I think he's a damn good coach. I'm happy to have him. And not to mention, what PK did this past season was amazing. He's never had a rushing defense that good. Even in his best seasons with good rushing defenses at Washington, he had games where they gave up 200, 300 yards on the ground. He didn't do that at all. We were tackling everyone. Jalen Ford's amazing too. I'm so unbelievably happy that we have PK as a defensive coordinator. I think y'all should be too. Maurice Blackwell needs to gain more weight, hopefully getting to 210, 215, playing the linebacker position left vacant by DeMarvion Overshown. I think that's going to be Anthony Hill. I think you're going to have Anthony. I would love to see Anthony Hill and Jalen Ford. Like I said, I think using him in that third linebacker role, kind of like you wanted to use Diamante Tucker Dorsey this past year, I think that's a dream spot for Mo Blackwell. And also using him as a big nickel. I'm all for that. I wanted Sark fired when he went. See, we got to stop being so overreactionary as a fan base. But it is what it is. Anyway, guys, I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. I do want to give one more big shout out to our sponsor, rogueshop.com. Like I said, use promo code TakeASip25 for 25% off at rogueshop.com. If you want to relax and not get extremely upset about people hating on the best defensive coordinator in the damn conference, take a trip over to rogueshop.com and you might be able to relax a little bit more than me. I'm losing it right now, guys. I'm not going to lie. I'm losing it. We will see. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy we have PK. I legitimately think outside of Dave Aranda, he's probably the best defensive play caller in the conference. So it is what it is. I appreciate you guys. Shout out to y'all. Going to be a phenomenal signing day tomorrow. Make sure you guys follow all the action on orangebloods.com. They're going to be keeping you guys updated with everything going on tomorrow. Also, follow them on Twitter. Everybody, we got Cole, Jeff Ketchum, Anwar. They're going to be giving you guys updates on all the commitments going on. Hopefully we keep Derek Williams. I think that's probably a possibility. We'll see. Hopefully we get some flips tomorrow. DeAndre Moore, I would love for you to be a Longhorn. I will be back next Tuesday. Hope you guys have a very, very Merry Christmas. Dallas is way better than Houston. Thank you for everything. As always,